Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. This is a kind of like a cowboy thing, don't you think?
Cowboy? Sure.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. She's riding her horse there.
Yippee-yi-yo.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hello, KZOOMers.
Oh, hello, everybody.
So
it's great
grateful
to see you.
for your presence for each other. Oops, speaking I can confirm. I can't find the thing. You do it.
Oh, there we go. Let's see.
What?
So, here we are.
I'm just saying who we are.
Yeah.
So, I'm so grateful for this work that we do together, and as I spend the week kind of in preparation, like just holding the questions of the week, and this question of the week really had to do with hearing God's voice and how that happens, and the world is so noisy.
Oh boy.
And there's a lot of noise coming into our consciousness, a lot of craziness, a lot of turmoil, and it's so important to be able to create a space for spiritual practice so that the voice of God can be heard. And the voice of God is also moving through us. And so it's not only a listening, it's also an exchange. It's really a conversation. And I want to be in conversation with the mystery. It feels like that's the fruitful conversation for me, to be always in this dynamic kind of relationship of the mystery pouring into me and then through me into the world. So the only way I know how to do that really is through practice, and coming together really kind of magnifies that practice and underlines it. And I always begin with these words from the Song of Songs, and we're in chapter 4 of the Song of Songs, which is part of the.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody muted? Oh.
Almost. Now, everybody is.
So part of the Song of Songs is the lovers who are pouring their over-the-top praise for each other that sort of sets us onto that path of praise and the path of beauty and the path of being amazed by each moment of life and be amazed by the opportunity to keep on deepening our relationship. And so the words from the Song of Songs say,
your lips like a scarlet ribbon, and your voice so sweet, the curve of your cheek like a pomegranate, hidden behind the thicket of your hair. Your neck is a Tower of David, built to perfection. 1,000 shields hang upon it, all the armor of heroes.
So as my lover says this, I notice that there are certain words that stand out for me in the Hebrew. And one of those words, which I just was so fascinated by, said, midbarech. And midbarech was the voice. And the whole idea that there's that the voice is the same word as your wilderness.
Oh, voice and wilderness.
Your voice is the same word as your wilderness. Ah. And so I thought, where do those come together? Your voice and the wilderness. And what it says to me also is that if we want to receive God's voice, there are times we need to step into the wilderness, whatever that might mean. You know, that Moses stepped into the wilderness in order to receive his calling at the burning bush. And Elijah stepped into the wilderness in order to receive his revelation. And each of us is called into the wilderness, away from sort of this constructed world that has this, sort of like, frame around it of how we should respond. And we step out of our comfort zone into the wilderness, and that's where we hear the voice of God in ways that we could not imagine. And so I wanted to begin with this practice. And the English part of it says, your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. So it's not only, it's not only a passive thing. It's like I step into the wilderness, and there's some place in me that is being called. And it says, your beauty and power are my mystery. So I want to be opened by that wilderness. And right now I'm looking over the computer into the ocean and feeling that wilderness. And each wave that comes to me also is pulling me back into the vastness of the ocean. And so every call from the wilderness also is a call to step forward into prophecy, into action, into vision. And so we want to make ourselves vulnerable to that call. I think we might need this here. So let's. So imagine the wilderness of your choosing, and it could be just the wilderness inside your own heart, and become vulnerable to that.
hashani, siftotayich, umidbarek naveh, umidbarek naveh, umidbarek naveh. Echut hashani, siftotayich, umidbarek naveh, umidbarek naveh, umidbarek naveh. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Echut hashani, Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh.
כחוט
hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Kehut hashani siftotayich. Umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh, umitbareik naveh. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery. Your voice in the wilderness calls out to me. Your beauty and power are my mystery.
So if you close your eyes, bring your attention to the breath, and let each breath be a wave, a tide that's coming into you and out, and feeling that wilderness, the much bigger reality, coming in, waking up your own sense of mission, of calling, of purpose, and breathing out your commitment to show up, and to be a bridge between that larger reality and this small one. So part of that commitment is finding our own depths. The world is always calling us to the surface, and we need to kind of counter that by finding the depths and finding the place in us that is stirred by the world, and being able to find that voice and send it out. So, and it's part of establishing this conversation with the beloved, which I think that's like that needs attention each day, because the news is so loud, we don't hear that other voice that is calling us. One of my heroes on the spiritual path is someone named Henry Nouwen, and I wanted to just bring a couple of his teachings to inspire us to be able to find our own voice in relationship to that mystery. He says, worship to me is constantly to say yes to God's love, to say, Lord, I love you too, because you're beautiful and you are great. I love you too. I just love that, to be able to receive the world as love and then say, oh, I love you too. That signals a change of heart. The moments we call worship are basically nothing else but moments in which we remind ourselves what our lives are about, moments in which we articulate in a particular way the essence of our existence. So it's like letting that conversation be a two-way conversation means that I also need to find my own voice and have that voice come from the depths in me that are stirred. He says, prayer then is listening to that voice, to the one who calls you the beloved, is to constantly go back to the truth of who we are and claim it for ourselves. I'm not what I do. I'm not what people say about me. I'm not what I have. Oh, there's nothing wrong with success. There's nothing wrong with popularity. There's nothing wrong with being powerful. Finally, my spiritual identity is not rooted in the world, the things of the world gives me. My life is rooted in my spiritual identity. Whatever we do, we have to go back regularly to that place of core identity.
Every day.
And this core identity, I feel, is the core identity of being the beloved of God. And that's what gives me the courage then to find my voice and to put it out there, because what comes back to me is that sense of being called as the beloved. So I want to ask us to do this practice that says, Mima'amakim kiraticha ya. And from the depths, I call to you. So it's a risk to call from our depths and not know how we are received. But in a way, if we don't make that call with the fullness of our being, we won't receive the call from God, from the beloved, the call that pulls us from our depths and brings us into wholeness. So Mima'amakim, I want to chant these words with you and feel like the words are coming from your own depths. And there's an English part that says, hear my voice, which is, I don't know, it's so core to my being to be able to call out and yearn for that conversation with the mystery, because the noise of the world can kind of drown us. So this, and I think about this, what I'm doing when I'm creating this relationship with the mystery is putting my attention on the ground of being in which this whole play of life is happening. You know, there's like figure and ground, and the figures just stand out so much, the things of the world stand out so much that we miss the ground from which they're coming, and the ground, which is the ground of being, which is, you know, another way of talking about God. So the ground of being, and when we can call out to that and be in conversation with that, then we are supported in every moment. So the call. Mima'amakim Kratihaya Oh Mima'amakim Kratihaya 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 Mima'amakim Kratihaya
Oh, Mima'amakim, Kerati Chaya.
From the
Mima'amakim,
I call
Kerati
to
Chaya. Oh, Mima'amakim, Kerati Chaya. Mima'amakim, Kerati 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 Chaya. Oh, Mima'amakim, Kerati Chaya.
And as we listen, the voice that calls us doesn't necessarily have words to it, but there's a feeling of being called into who you really are. And Henry Nouwen says, every time you listen with great attentiveness to this voice that calls you the beloved, you will discover within yourself a desire to hear that voice longer and more deeply. It is like discovering a well in the desert. Once you have touched wet ground, you want to dig deeper.
Hmm. Yeah.
And just one more teaching of his, he says, "Dear friend, being the beloved," which it means having this really relationship with the mystery, "is the origin and the fulfillment of the life of the Spirit. I say this because as soon as we catch a glimpse of this truth, we are put on a journey in search of the fullness of that truth, and we will not rest until we can rest in that truth. From the moment we claim the truth of being the beloved, we are faced with the call to become who we are. Becoming the beloved is the great spiritual journey we have to make." And we get to support each other on that journey. When I was contemplating how God speaks to me, I realized that for me, I reach into kind of that mystery, and melodies come forth. You know, that and it's true of many artists that, you know, or you might have colors come forth, or you might have poetry come forth, but there's something that is it's like a source that is flowing through us as our art. And I think of it, just the art of the holy is opening up to that flow of the divine through us. And so there is this wonderful Psalm 87, verse 7, says, I translate this as, "Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you." And I think that's the key to really becoming an artist of the holy, realizing that I'm just the vehicle, and I'm going to be the best vehicle I can be for that flow. But if I don't remember that it's all coming from you, God, then I can get into big trouble. Right?
Yeah.
With the inflation of my own ego, thinking I'm the one who is making all of this. And so I want to talk to all of you, singers and dancers and artists of the holy, to be able to sing this song and to celebrate that divine flow. This song gives me such joy to sing it.
Because you're a singer and a dancer.
I'm a singer and a dancer. We're all singers and dancers.
All of us.
And to remember that as we are singing and dancing and making art, making a life really of ourselves, that it's coming from God, and that is what connects us. What makes it is the conversation that's happening through us.
Didn't you tell me once that you were going to make a business card that said, "Chef of Gold, Artist of the Holy"?
I didn't. I didn't.
Sounds like you.
But it sounds like me.
Artist of the Holy.
Yeah, artist of the holy, and we are all artists of the holy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I'll use the drum for this too. But I want everyone to step into their own sense of artistry, whatever that is. It could be cooking. It could be, whatever it is.
Photography.
Oops, sorry. Whatever it is that you create of your life, to remember where it's all coming from, and when you're connecting to where it's coming from, then it's like that channel opens even further, and you are connected to the divine flow.
It's called, sometimes people call it the zone. When you're in the zone, that's what it is. We're hooked up and connected, and it's flowing through. Yeah. God's zone. This is a new one.
Let's see.
Shari.
I'll just get the right key here.
Oh, well, that would help.
Singers and dancers alike
will say from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Much better in that chord. Harim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Hasharim kecholalim kol-maiyanai bach. Singers and dancers alike will say everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike alike will say, everything flows from you. Visharim kol-maiyanai, kol-maiyanai, bach. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Visharim kol-maiyanai, bach. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you. Singers and dancers alike will say, everything flows from you.
And in the silence, when I reach out to all the artists of the world as a great healing force that we need, and to say, this beauty that we connect to, this love that we connect to that flows through us, that's what the world needs now. We need to be able to open to that flow, and in contradiction to all the meanness and dissolution that's going on in the world, and through that beauty, find this deep connection with holiness, and be a channel for that into the world. It's my hope. It's my hope, really. And to know that we're each doing it in our own way, and that we can feel ourselves connecting to maybe even feel like we're going to create this great masterpiece together from all of our efforts. And it's not even efforts, it's really an opening to what's already there, to let ourselves be living from that inspiration, from that beauty, no matter what.
That's a rigorous spiritual practice. But we're up for the job.
We're up for the job.
We are up for the job.
Yeah. And I get inspired just by looking at your at your faces. So there's one more practice that I want to do, which is really about listening to God, and it comes out of a story in the first book of Kings, a story about Eliyahu, about Elijah, and Elijah is on the run. There's people out to get him, and he goes into the wilderness for 40 days, just like Moses did. And he is in that wilderness. He is fed. He is nourished, and then he's sent into this cave, which is the cave of our hearts, really, and he into those depths, really, and God, speaks to him from there, and there is fire and storm, and it's like a description of our world now. All of the chaos of the world comes to him, and he has to let go of each of those places of fire, of storm and fire and thunder and lightning, and all of the craziness, until finally God sends this kol-maiyanai, Dakah, which is sometimes called the still small voice. It's the inner place of the murmur of God that is ubiquitous, really. It's always happening, but it's only when we let go of the fire and the thunder and all of that craziness of the world that we can go into the depth of our own cave of our heart and listen deeply and receive that still small voice. So when so this is the kind of the key phrase in the story of Elijah that says after the fire, and it's not just the fire, it's all it's
the conflagration.
It's the news, it's the tariffs, it's the craziness of the world. After all of that, there is this quiet place where we listen and find our wisdom and our place of connection to unity consciousness, and from there, that's where we want to live from there. And I like to sing that kol-maiyanai, Dakah.
Oh, like a still
kind
small
of
voice.
Soft, a little bit soft there. So
Okay.
Haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah.
haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah.
haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish,
kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. haish, haish, kol-maiyanai, Dakah. ve'achar ha'esh, ve'achar ha'esh, kol dmama 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 dakah.
So we listen together, and the listening is amplified by our shared practice, by our blessing each other in our practice. So I might want to just to take a look around the KZOOM room.
Gotta put my glasses on.
I'm in the sun here. Take a look around the KZOOM room and just give a blessing to each of us in our listening and our responsiveness to that still.
And some new people.
Voice.
Welcome, new people.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Perhaps Maureen and perhaps.
And so I would invite you to go to the website, give a little donation in honor of what you have received, rabbishefagol.com, and also take a look at some retreats that are happening. I'm going to be teaching in Minnesota in August, and I think there's only 2 people signed up for that so far.
Jenny,
But
you rocking.
Jan,
You already
one
signed
of
up?
them. But I would love to see some of my KZOOMers there to do a healing workshop together.
Healing week.
And
Yeah.
healing, and we're going to be meeting next week and it will be
Yes,
just
right before
right
Pesach.
before Pesach. So
It'll be perfect.
It'll be a practice to help us to clean out all the chametz and
Spiritual chametz.
open up to the journey of liberation. And the Song of Songs is really, the secret text of Passover. It is the story of our liberation through love. So I'm going to stop the
like me and you.
recording.